Boxing King Media in association with BOXXER. Ben, Shalom, out here in Liverpool, Anfield specifically. You're not a Liverpool fan, are you?
I am. My mum is an Irish Belfast girl, and so they're all mad Liverpool fans, which is crazy and was weird growing up because obviously I'm a Manchester through and through. So yeah.
Good man. A big show for you guys in Liverpool this Saturday. So Liam Smith, obviously his opponent's been here before. He got a good win against Sam Eggington. But was it difficult to try and find the right opponent? And are you happy with the guy you've got?
Yeah, 100%. Look, he wanted the Chris Eubank Jr. fight. Chris obviously felt like there was an easier fight on the table and good money and fair play. And we just wanted Liam Smith back out early. We think he's unbelievable form. He had the Kurbanov fight where he won, really. He showed his class against Fowler and Vargas. He is a world-level operator, one of the best fighters to watch, one of the most intelligent fighters. And to be honest, we just wanted him back on the Sky platform in a big night in Liverpool, so that when now the world titles come and the big fights come off the back of it, he's back in people's minds, he's back in the mainstream minds. This is a massive card as well. And we turn it around very quickly. And Hassan, to be honest, for us, is a perfect fighter because he's reckless. He's orthodox sometimes, he's southpaw, he can punch, he knocks people out, he's coming off 10 wins. Liam will have to be careful in this fight, 100%, but obviously there's levels and hopefully he comes through. He has another similarly controlled, world-class performance like he's been having, and then we can look ahead. But it's a massive card on Saturday and it's a best place for Liam to start.
Definitely, and you know in the past people have kind of like had a go at you guys for the undercards, but you're opening the show with a fight that could top any show in the world.
100%. I think, look, Tasha Jonas as well. It's a massive fight for her. Patricia Burgos is no mug. It's a harder fight than Hannah Rankin. That was the fight that we wanted to make. I said to her, look, we have the opportunity now to unify at 154. Do we do that? I think coming up to 154 was the obvious move to win the world title. There was a bit of criticism around that. Obviously, she performed well. She was unbelievable in that fight in terms of people would have said if she'd been hurt or it didn't look great, we'd have been blamed. She went up there, and now, instead of saying, right, I've won my world title now, I'm going to go back to my normal weight, she has the opportunity to fight for the WBC title at 154 against a genuine world champion, against an unbeaten world champion. It's a massive fight. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a tough fight. They're both very, very good technically as well. It's a great one.
It's no secret that, you know, obviously the chase was for Hannah Rankin's signature between yourselves and Matchroom. How close was it, and at what point did you think, you know what, we'll go down a different route?
I think when the Brackhouse and Burgos fight didn't happen, gave us options. We wanted to unify. We wanted the Hannah Rankin fight. We appreciate Hannah sees the Terry Harper fight is an easier fight. We understand that, so she's taken that, and that is the truth. And I think so. Tasha got to a point where this opportunity came up, and it was perfect. And to be honest, we just want the best for Tasha Jonas. We're not interested in the fighters that she's fighting necessarily. We'll chase the best opportunities. This is a massive opportunity, but it is a tougher fight. But there's more reward that's here. She gets to become WBC world champion if she can do it on Saturday night in front of her own fans, in front of back in Liverpool. It's a massive night for her, and she's had an unlucky career, and she's always taken the challenges. And this is a big challenge.
Obviously, when you got Tasha's signature, you will have promised her all sorts. You've delivered, haven't you?
100%. I think when I met Tasha, I'd watched her in terms of, I remember her coming on in 2012. I remember the quarterfinal against Katie Taylor. I remember she then got injured, and then she turned over and then became a mother, which was incredible. Then came back, had the decision with Terry Harper that should have never gone against her when she drew to Terry Harper for a world title. She lost on a very close points decision to Katie Taylor. She's always been in the shadow of Katie Taylor, coming through at the same time. She's an incredible person, an incredible fighter. She's been through so much to be at the elite level and be at the top level. So when she came over, we said, let's go and get you world titles. Let's prioritise you. We did it, and it's unbelievable when that happens. And she won a world title on the Carnbrook card. She's back here in Liverpool for a unification. Yes, at 154, but that shows a measure of who she is. So yeah, we're obviously happy with how things have gone for Tasha. And looking forward to her future. I think she feels like she's now got 2, 3, 4 more fights left in her.
Definitely. And then with regards to Adam Azim, Josh Taylor's given up pretty much all his belts apart from one. Are you realistically looking to try and chase down one of them titles that are hanging loose within the next 12 months? Yeah.
Adam,
It's wide open now.
Yeah, it's wide open. It's a perfect division to be coming into. Adam Azim are going to move quickly. His opponent pulled out this week. That happens. A lot of fighters don't want to fight him, especially on the British circuit, because he's going into gyms and he's knocking people out and he's fighting middleweights. So that is part of the battle, but it just means he is going to move quickly. He is going to move into the international scene very quickly, and those world titles will be on his radar. Look, it's stupid to say that after 5-6 fights, but Barry and Shane wanting to become the youngest British world champion, and we want to move him in a way that he's comfortable, and we don't want it to stagnate. We want to keep him active, but next 12, 18 months, he'll be getting towards that world level. But I think looking at it now, you know how much it changes. The world champions change every few months. Looking at it now, when really it's 12, 18 months down the line, picture could look very different, but he's going to be up there.
Is that Ryland Charlton fight still likely next?
We wanted it. I think we did put an offer in the end. Look, maybe in November, maybe end of November. I think that's a fight people want to see. They want to see Adam against British guys. They want to see him against guys that are robust, that can do damage. And Ryland obviously performed well in the tournament and has looked good and looks better at 140. Let's see.
Obviously, Eddie Hearn's just announced his deal in Abu Dhabi. You was in Albania, putting shows on in Albania, but you never thought you was going to do that when you started this journey. Could we see boxing in the UAE at some point?
We have a responsibility to British boxing that I think is becoming even more important. There's a lot of opportunities around the world. There's a lot of opportunities for promoters now to go and do this, to go and do that. We went to Albania because, to be honest, boxing had never been there. It wasn't a government funded. That was for Florian Marcoux because he's got a fan base there that it was his dream to go back. But we're focused on British boxing. You've seen us in Bournemouth. You've seen us in Sheffield, Leeds, Manchester, Birmingham, Glasgow. That's where we believe in, and that's really important for the sport. Where the superstar is going to come from, how is boxing going to grow properly if we're not investing in UK shows with UK talent and growing them. Anthony Joshua could not have grown to the size he was, fighting in different places and fighting over here and fighting over there. We want to build superstars. That's why I invested in the Olympians. That's why we think we have the future. So our focus is here, 100%.
Definitely. And with regards to bringing more fighters into your stable, there's rumours that Dillian Whyte could be heading your way with a potential fight with Daniel Dubois on pay-per-view, with potentially Josh Cattrall and Taylor being on the show as well. Any truth in that?
Dillian's assessing his options. I think he's got a lot of options. Good to see him back. Hopefully he'll want to fight before the end of the year. So we'll definitely look at that. Cattrall Taylor, I expect to happen this year. Both fighters won the fight. When both fighters won the fight, it usually happens. So I expect that one to happen. Don't think they'll be on the same cards. But yeah, Dillian will look at, we'd hope, but he'll have options. And Cattrall, who will be here on Saturday actually. We want to move close now to making that fight.
Cheers, Ben. Just last one. I think last time I spoke to you, I think you said, in all this circle of promoters slagging each other off back and forth, you want to be the guy standing back and just sit back and enjoying it. I think I picked up something from Eddie Hearn recently, and he said he's enjoyed the back and forth between you and Frank. So everyone wants to see a bit of action, don't they?
I think they do. I think at the end of the day, boxing fans do love it, but they also love... Boxing is one of those sports where you know, everyone's always going to hate on what you do, whether it's the undercard, whether it's the main event, whether it's this, whether it's a press conference, whatever. I think the main thing is making sure the sport is active, it's healthy, there's big shows going on all the time, the fights are getting made, and we think we're good at that. We think we put on consistent shows. We've got a show this weekend, we've got Shields Marshall next week, we've got Josie Parker with Joe Joyce on September 24th, we have a massive October as well. We want to prove that we'll put on fights consistently, and that's what we think will speak volumes, and that's what we want to focus on. The rest of it is good fun, but at the end of the day, it's a serious sport, and I'd take our position very seriously. You know, we have a responsibility to the sport to perform well, to be consistent, to give opportunities, and yes, we can all laugh and joke and this and that, and it is a business at the same time, but it is also a sport. And I think it's in a healthy place right now, and we're seeing fights get made, and that's what people should be happy about.
any interest in influencer type events? Because I don't know if you saw the views from this show with KSI. I think we did 5 million plus views just on YouTube from it.
It's crazy, isn't it? I think with KSI, if I'm honest, I think he's a phenomenon. I think if he could do anything and you do 5 million views, whether it's boxing, whether it's not. So it's great that he's doing boxing. So it is a phenomenon. I think the thing is, as I said, we're focused on boxing, on professional boxing, on British boxing. Where there's opportunities, of course, anyone would look at it, but I think it's very, very important to make sure that the promoters and the broadcasters are committed to the sport and committed to for me, it's the most beautiful sport in the world, and that's where the focus should be. But yeah, I think, as I say, KSI, whether he's boxing, playing table tennis, swimming, he's going to do massive numbers.
That's quite a good point. That on that note, Ben, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.